Alright, yeah, so, Vivian is port 1. Let me fix that. There we go. Yeah, Vivian is the Red Fox port 1, Jet is port 2. Wow, I kind of was like setting it up, and it looks like we already got a Jet up a stock. I didn't see what happened. I will say, I played against Jet in bracket, and I literally got fucking like 4 stock game 1, just because I was so not ready for that speed. Kind of like what I was talking about. Even if you're someone that's good against the Fox Ditto, like if you aren't constantly playing against someone with this level of speed, there are so many things that are just not available to you that you're used to being available to you. I was talking about this with David as well, Lover, someone that sort of came up with Jet, and one of the hallmarks of Jet style that we're talking about a lot is that you just absolutely have to respect Jet's shine set of shields. They're extremely good, extremely consistent, and so any sort of gap is likely to get wave shine out of shield into tech chase. But yeah, we've got a pretty solid lead so far. We got an SD, it's unfortunate. I will say Jet is not someone that typically drop shines from ledge. Jet always prefers to go for Armada shine, but even though in that situation, like, it's pretty low risk reward to just like jump back air and then Armada shine, Jet will always go for like the back air and then refresh into Armada shine, which I don't think is necessarily the best. But yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. It felt very much like a cheese game, considering the, you know, the 2 SDs and that shine at 10%. But that's fucking bracket. You play for those and you take those all the way. So we got Vivian up 1-0 right now. Let's see how Jet adapts for Jet to play cleaner. Nice, tech chase, up tilt, yep. Also, just for stream, I do want everybody to know, Jet is definitely not fucking sober right now. He has been drinking the entire bracket, so just to keep that in mind. I think that is low-key a bub, but, you know, just to sort of let you know, sort of a... No, that is not John's. It's more like a John for Vivian, honestly, that Jet is tipsy. It's just, Jet unlocks certain options. Jet may die to some more ledge dashes when drunk, but there's clearly some other shit that goes on that makes up for it. Yeah, but right now, this is just looking like a really fast-paced Fox Ditto. I will say, like, you are constantly playing to Alex's pace, but Vivian is doing a really good job of converting when Vivian does get the opening, and Alex is kind of playing with his food a bit more once he gets the openings. Kind of a similar thing, like I said to Colin about how Colin is someone that's not necessarily looking to do like a flowchart or go with any sort of specific mix-up. Like, Jet is really just like looking at the screen, trying to react really hard, and then vibe. A lot of empty movement baits, a lot of stuff getting whipped in front view that you're designed to try and whip punish. But I think people that play that super flowcharty style, like Vivian, I think they can give players like this a hard time if they get in, because if you have solid defense and even if a person like is winning neutral more, like if you're fucking around too much with your punish, and you let someone that has a really robust flowchart hit you a few times, it can be extremely dangerous. I think that's the reason why some of those games Colin was so close. I think Vivian's very... I mean, I don't know how Vivian is in every matchup, but I think in this matchup, she's very flowcharty. Vivian, I don't think is very flowcharty specifically in their edge guards. That's something that we've talked about. But I think off knockdown, I think Vivian, like, has quite, it feels like Vivian is going for, like, pretty similar sorts of, like, tech chases and options. And I don't say that as a bad or good thing. It's clearly a style thing. Just my assessment. But yeah, we've got Vivian bringing it back to last stock. Let's see if she can take this game. Ooh, and we got an SD as well on Vivian's end. So it looks like it's 1-1 now. Huh? Why would you not be flowcharting off knockdown? I think there are plenty of cases where you can go for something that's just like slightly more read-based that yields a high reward. Like obviously, like you can just be like true tech chases, but if you're willing to do a lot more like tech traps and sort of like baits of bad options, there could just be juicier things on the table. I mean, this is like a really like general concept I'm describing, but I think it's very much one that applies in the Ditto. You know, it's like, do I want to like go for a grab at this specific position in the stage where there are things that I can't cover super strongly, or do I want to go for a tech trap and get a falling up air and have the whole world at my shoulders? I think positions are the main sort of things that make those sort of tech traps more or less of a good idea. But I think there are people who style-wise just tend to go for them more often, and that's sort of where Jet and Colin both are. I think H-Claw is a good example of someone that's like really fast and good. That's a lot more flowcharty than that. But just sort of, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, I will say it's like I'm telling you, like I play a lot against Jet, so there's a lot of just like rules that I have that are very specific for Jet's Fox, and one of them is just like spot dodge. It's like it's so like when you don't have a lot of games against Jet, or really just like any Fox that fast. It doesn't have to be Jet, but Jet is like really up there in terms of speed. There are plenty of top 100 players that aren't as fast, top 50 even. Like it's just like the urge to spot dodge and to do noob options defensively is so much stronger because the potency of the speed and like the amount of mix-ups coming at you quickly is just really overwhelming. Oh, great! I saw. See that sort of situation is like a great example. Like you saw that knockdown on platform and the way Jet sort of played that. Like Jet was very much like looking for something specific that was going to be high reward rather than reacting super hard to Vivian's DI and tech patterns. Yep, going through that here. Yeah, like I mentioned, Jet fucking wants to hit you so bad. Like Jet is like the epitome of like a holding ledge lane kind of person. He very much doesn't he very much will go for the back air even if it's kind of ill-advised. Ready? Go! Yeah, I mean Jet is just if just like some Jet lore, Jet literally, like when Jet was like 13 years old, Jet would just kind of like spam Relno like tech skill routines in his bedroom like all day. Like that is like actually the genesis of like how he got fast. Like he's been like doing like crazy tech skill patterns since he was like, you know, barely in puberty, and that's kind of like you could just sort of see how the speed is translated. Also, it's like I feel like it's one of those things that like, you know, like when you start to do something at a high level, like physically really young, when people start to do things physically, like really young, your body tends to sort of like actually like shape around it when you're in puberty. It's really interesting. It's why swimmers have specific pods and things of that nature. My hands evolved a little differently because I was playing guitar when I was really young. Like, oh, that's a... Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not only the plasticity, I mean literally physically. Like, your body will, like, physically, like, change slightly to match things that you're doing a lot. So, like, I literally think part of why Jet fucking moves so fast is that homie is doing that shit so fucking young. Like, you can be trying to do the same routines at, like, and start learning them at 25, and that shit does not mean fucking same. Obviously, the brain is part of what to do with it. But I think it's a super cool phenomenon. But yeah, to get back to the melee, oh my fucking god, dude. It's just... those call-outs are crazy. I think, that's just raw reaction speed as well. It's kind of crazy. Looking like a pretty solid W for Jet. I will say, like, we've been getting the game is great. They did what they need to do, but it very much looked like a bit of a fluke game. A bit of cheese happened, and Jet sort of lost. And Jet kind of very clearly has shrugged that off. Continued to play the same game that led to them having a big lead game one, and is kind of stomping right now. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Look at him. See, that's the thing. It's like Homie's literally fucking like doing these nairs, while waiting for the box to do something for fun, and getting that clean up smash. And